Can you briefly explain what IMA is?
So IMA basically stands for Institute of Management Accountants.
So, do you believe that India is moving towards a strategic finance era like global markets?
GCC's growth in India is tremendous.
What finance skills will be the most important or most required in the next 5 to 10 years?
Technical finance knowledge will always remain important.
AI replacing jobs. So, what's your perspective on this?
It is not going to replace your job.
What type of students or working professionals should ideally consider USCMA? One major concern amongst working professionals and students is career stagnation.
The lack of upskilling that they're doing.
Welcome everyone to the very first podcast by the Parmanand Group in collaboration with IMA, Institute of Management Accountants, the globally recognized body behind the US CMA program. I am your host Richa Dalvi, and today marks the beginning of an exciting new journey where we will explore global careers, professional growth, and the future of finance and management accounting. In this podcast series, we will bring industry experts, professionals, mentors, and aspiring candidates together to discuss how the US CMA qualification is transforming careers across the globe, especially for students and working professionals looking for international opportunities. The finance industry is evolving rapidly. Companies today are not only looking for accountants, but for strategic business leaders who can analyze data, manage financial decisions, and contribute to organizational growth. That is exactly where the USCMA program creates a strong global impact. Through this podcast, we aim to simplify the journey of becoming a USCMA. We will also discuss career opportunities, practical guidance, industry expectations, and real success stories from professionals who have built remarkable careers through this qualification. So whether you are a student, a finance professional, entrepreneur, or someone exploring global career options, this podcast is designed for you. Today's episode marks the beginning of a larger vision where the Parmanand Group enters the finance and management domain through the USCMA program in collaboration with IMA. Joining us today is someone who has worked closely with professionals, institutions, and finance aspirants across Maharashtra, Mr. Makrand Hegde, the Relationship Development Officer of Maharashtra at the Institute of Management Accountants, USA. He has been actively promoting globally recognized finance qualifications and career development opportunities. With his experience in professional education and relationship development, he brings a fresh insight into the evolving world of finance and something truly different for students and professionals alike. So Makrand, firstly, thank you for joining us and a very warm welcome to the Parmanand Group podcast. It is truly a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you so much, Richa. It's exciting to be a part of this new initiative taken up by Parmanand Group. First of all, congratulations to the entire team on becoming an official bronze approved learning partner for the US CMA certification. I believe this is a strategic step for the Parmanand Group because of the growing demand and the evolving nature of finance in India especially. And the right time for working professionals and students to pick something in the field of finance and accounts. I'm particularly excited for today's discussion because I hope we bring value to students, working professionals, and aspiring finance leaders to get to know more about finance and accounts and also the value of USCMA that can help in their career in the long run.
So Makrand, for many students and professionals hearing about USCMA for the first time, can you briefly explain what IMA is and why it holds global credibility?
Sure. So IMA basically stands for Institute of Management Accountants. It's a 100-year-old organization. It's based out of US in New Jersey. IMA has a lot of certifications that we help in the field of finance and accounts. USCMA being one of them. We have FMAA, we have CSCA. So when it comes to these certifications are not just recognized in India, but it's recognized in 150 countries, including India.
Wow.
So when it comes to the global recognition and the global presence of this course, it's enormous because anyone from a small city in India can do this course and get that global recognition, work in the Big Four and the MNCs as well. Along with that, the skill sets that the students and working professionals gain from the certifications that we provide is enormous because the knowledge that they get, the experience that they get from the certifications that we provide is very, very much valued by global organizations, and it helps them in the long run with their careers.
So, because this course offers global credibility, my next question is, how is the finance industry evolving globally? And why are companies now looking beyond traditional accounting roles?
So what has happened in the last few years is that there has been a lot of demand from global companies. They have set up their centers over here, their hubs over here in India. So
Okay.
India, as you might be knowing, has become the GCC capital of the world
Yes.
because of the kind of skill set that Indian people bring, and of course because of the expertise and the grit in which all these young professionals are pursuing this program. So
Right.
when it comes to IMA and the US CMA certification, it is a certain niche in the field of management accounting. So when
Okay.
it comes to the niche of management accounting, a lot of people who are, a lot of clients who are based out of Europe, based out of Middle East, based out of US. So these companies are looking for someone who can manage the accounts, make strategic financial decisions in the right way possible. Also, now that the finance industry as in itself is evolving so much because of the introduction of automation, AI, and all the other things that are involved, management accounting, particularly the US CMA certification, it is also evolving at a very rapid pace because we have a
Okay.
lot of micro credentials that are available for the students to be updated of what is actually happening in the industry. We do a
Right.
lot of webinars, we do a lot of seminars with industry experts where they come and talk about what is evolving actually in the industry, what is going to help them in the long run.
Okay.
So they are very much updated about what is actually happening in the industry. Also, the reason why companies are now looking for finance professional rather than traditional accounting roles is because of the growing demand of finance in India as well as globally.
Right.
Additionally, what is happening is they are looking for someone who can become a CFO in the next 10 or 15 years. They are building that pipeline for themselves as a
Yes.
company. And also, what happens with that is with regards to the decision making roles that are involved right now in the field of finance and accounts, it's growing tremendously.
Yeah.
So, companies are not just looking for accountants, they are looking for future leaders that can
Yeah.
run the company in the long run.
Yes, I completely agree with you. So, do you believe that India is moving towards a strategic finance era like global markets?
Yes, they are definitely doing that because, as I mentioned, GCC's growth in India is tremendous because of the
Yes.
setup that they have done is across various different cities, not just the metro cities, but also Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities as well.
Yes.
Additionally, what is happening is not just GCCs, but MNCs are also having their base over here in India.
Right.
So the number of people that they are hiring, the number of open mandates that they have for the field in the field of finance and accounts is growing every single day
Yes.
because of the demand that the clients have globally and the kind of opportunities that these MNCs and GCCs bring over here in India. So the big change that we've seen in the last 8 to 10 years probably is that it has changed from a number crunching game to a analytical driven game. They're
Okay.
looking at a lot of data and they are driving their decisions. The day-to-day decisions of a company is driven by those data and the analytics that go behind it.
Got
So
it.
there is a huge shift in the mindset of these companies, the finance professionals, as well as the senior management at all of these companies. So
Okay.
I have been honestly seeing a lot of changes globally that is happening across in the field of finance and accounts, and it is evolving in nature.
One major concern amongst working professionals and students is career stagnation. So, why do many finance professionals feel stuck despite years of experience?
So the real reason why people are feeling stagnant at their jobs right now is because of the lack of upskilling that they're doing.
Okay.
What happens is in this industry, and it's relevant across other industries as well. When someone is working in a particular company for like a 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, uh, they assume that they don't need to do anything more. They don't need to learn anything more in order
Yes.
to jump up the ladder and move along in their career.
Right.
So a lack of upskilling is why majority of the people are feeling stagnant.
Right.
The other reason is when you are not upskilling, what is happening is you're competing with people from across the world. It's not just
True.
your own city, your own locality,
Right.
your own country. You're competing with people from across the globe. So
Right.
when you're not upskilling yourself, when you're not learning on a day-to-day basis, when you're not increasing your knowledge base, you might feel stagnant at the end of the day. One common concern that I hear from community members is that experience is no longer enough. The industry is rewarding professionals who are evolving with technology, strategic thinking, and analytics. So that is something that a lot of future finance working professionals, as well as the ones who are in the industry or the ones who are aspiring to get into the industry, is that you have to evolve yourself with the current needs of the market.
Right. So just doing the job is not enough anymore.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So what differentiates a US CMA professional from a traditional accountant?
Great. So, US CMA certification gives a lot of knowledge in terms of management accounting. It has a global exposure that students and working professionals get from the certification. Also, the ability to connect finance with decision making. What we are trying to build with the US CMA certification is that it's not just about giving out the knowledge, but also make them strategic thinkers, so
Right.
that they can make strategic business decisions,
Right.
and also create strong leaders for our industry that we are in right now. And additionally, of course, it's all about cost management, performance management that differentiates them from being a traditional accountant.
So because US CMA has so many benefits, I hear it is becoming increasingly relevant among students and working professionals in India, right?
Yes, that's absolutely right.
Yeah.
The reason why it's becoming more popular over here is because of the time taken to do this certification. There are only two parts that the student have to appear for, and you can become a USCMA member in the approximately what we state is that it takes anywhere between 12 to 18 months for you to become a USCMA
Right.
member.
Okay.
So as I mentioned, it has a shorter duration. So with the shorter duration, obviously, they get a lot of return on their investment. Because if you go to see, it takes around 12 to 18 months for them to do. And once they are done with either of the parts, they have an opportunity to work in the industry. So their return of investment is much, much faster in comparison to the other professional certifications that are available in the market.
Okay, so they don't have to wait to complete the entire thing.
They generally don't have to wait. They can start as soon as they are done with either of the parts.
I think that's great,
That's
right?
actually brilliant for them to
Yes.
kickstart their career.
Perfect. So Makarand, what type of students or working professionals should ideally consider US CMA?
So honestly, USCMA can be done by undergraduates, MBA aspirants, working professionals, finance executives, and entrepreneurs as well. So it's not just restricted to one particular set of audience, but a lot of people who want to upskill themselves, want to learn something new, want something to kickstart their career,
Right.
can pursue the USCMA certification.
So you mentioned AI, right?
Mhm.
And of course, there's a lot of fear in the market about AI replacing jobs. So what's your perspective on this?
So, answering your
AI.
question, and the biggest fear that a lot of students and working professionals have is AI going to replace your jobs? The answer to that is very simple. It is not going to replace your jobs, because to run the AI, to understand the AI, you need skilled people like you in the industry to work along with AI. Obviously, AI is going to be helpful for you in the long run because it reduces the time taken to do the number crunching bit. It gives you a different understanding, a different perspective that you may have not thought of. So it will not take away your jobs, but it's going to become an enabler for you to become more efficient at your job.
So what do you think, what finance skills will be the most important or most required in the next 5 to 10 years?
What is happening with the evolving nature of finance and the industry itself, companies are not just looking for someone who can analyze the data, but they are looking for storytellers.
Okay.
The reason why they're looking for storytellers is because someone who can present the data, someone who can understand the data, someone who can strategically think about how the company can grow at a rapid pace, uh, and can help them in understanding the data in a much better manner. So there are certain skills that these companies are looking for, and these are going to be the skills that are going to be very much in value in the next 5 to 10 years.
Right.
Naming a few is business analytics.
Right.
The other thing is strategic thinking. The couple of other things that the companies are obviously looking for is leaders.
Yes.
Because right now in the industry, what the company is trying to look for is to build a leader in the next 5 years or 10 years, because companies are not just looking at an employee in that direction where they are like, okay, they are just an employee with us for a couple of years, but they're also building and investing a lot in their employees so that they can become future leaders.
So succession planning.
Succession planning is one thing that the companies are investing a lot in. Other finance related skills that will become very important is the kind of interpretation of data that finance professionals can do.
Okay.
Because the evolving nature of the data and the industry is going to be very key for finance professionals to work in. Additionally, the number one skill that finance professionals should look at is communication. As I mentioned, finance is not just about data crunching, analytics and everything. It's all about storytelling. So if you have a good communication skills, you'll be able to interpret that data. You'll be able to write a good story about that data which you're about to present to your management. So to sum it all up, technical finance knowledge will always remain important.
Right.
But future ready professionals should also look at communication skills, adaptability, and the ability to translate data into business decisions.
So because students have a lot of options these days, right?
Correct.
They get confused between MBA, CA, ACCA, CPA, and US CMA. So how can one think strategically and make a decision?
With the amount of global professional degrees that students can opt for, what every student and working professional needs to do is that whatever qualification they're going to pick up, they have to align it with their career goal at the end of the day.
Okay.
Because there are plenty of opportunities in the field of finance and accounts. There's accounting, there's taxation, there's analytics. There is a lot of different things that are available for the people who are in the industry, who are working on these things.
Right.
So you have to ensure that you are aligning it with which direction you want to move in, which particular niche you want to work in the industry. If you're not someone who is interested in accounting, audit, taxation, laws, US CMA is the perfect qualification, as this is core finance. No degree or qualification will guarantee that it will give you a job, but no degree or qualification also doesn't say that it won't give you a job. So at the end of the day, you have to ensure that you have to align it with your career, the industry that you're working in, and what is your future goal like. You have to ensure that you have that strategically thought out. Because in my experience, what I've seen is there are a lot of students who pick up qualifications and they end up clearing those qualifications as well. But once they end up in the industry, once they are actually working in that industry, they don't find the job interesting. Within like 6 months to a year's time, they are like, okay, this is not something that I envisioned for myself.
Right.
This is not something that I enjoy on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
So they try to shift their career into a different industry or a different, they pick up a different qualification as well.
Right.
So it's not something bad per se. But what happens is they end up losing those 1 years of, they end up losing that time. Because it takes time for you to pick up that qualification, clear that qualification. Also, then it takes time for you to find the right kind of job as well. Right. So you end up losing time and energy. So instead of doing that, you have to ensure that you're picking a qualification which will suit you in the long run.
Yeah, so are you saying that the USCMA program is more dynamic?
Yes, it's much more dynamic in nature.
Right.
Because of the ability that the students and because of the knowledge that they are getting out of this certification.
Right. So along with finance, they also have management and strategic thinking.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, that's
Yes.
right.
What do you think makes the collaboration between IMA and the Permanent Group exciting for the Indian market?
So this collaboration will also bring about a global learning ecosystem because of the recognition that the US CMA certification provides, and also the experience that we bring in the education space. Because of our recognition over 100 years, we are evolving in nature, so students get access to the latest information,
Right.
latest knowledge, as well as whatever is happening in the industry. They are very much the students are very much informed about what is happening in the global space. We host a lot of webinars.
Okay.
We do a lot of seminars, in-person seminars, where we host our students. Basically, it's known as we do two flagship events.
Okay.
We have something known as a student leadership conference,
Okay.
and we have an annual leadership conference which happens once in a year.
Okay.
So the last time we did a student leadership conference, it was in Chennai.
Okay.
In the month of April. So there were around 1,000 students who had turned up for that event.
Wow.
So the other event that we are going to do is going to come up in the month of October.
Okay.
So the students of Permanent Group are also going to get access to that.
Wow. What kind of transformation can students expect through the Permanent Group's USCMA ecosystem?
So what will happen is the ecosystem that Permanent Group is building right now, they have an expert mentor on board. So with the expert mentor, there's going to be structured learning to the global qualification, that is USCMA. So someone who has already appeared for the exam, someone who has already done the process of becoming a USCMA member is the one who's going to be actually teaching the students. So it's going to be very important because the faculty who has himself gone through the program, gone through the chapter, the parts that are there, how to go about with the curriculum, will if someone of that stature is going to teach the students, it's going to become relatively easier for that student to clear the USCMA certification.
Somewhat like mentorship.
Somewhat like mentorship. Additionally, there is going to be professional development that will happen, because when you're someone who's pursuing the program in your first year or second year of college, what happens is they have a lot of bookish knowledge. But for you to be industry ready and relevant, you need to also develop your soft skills. So communication is one thing that is very important. So Permanent Group will help you out with those things. There's going to be a lot of career counseling that will also happen along with your program, so that you can end up finding the right set of jobs as well. And the most important bit that is going to happen is the long-term support that the Permanent Group is going to offer you.
So Makran, to switch it up, let's do a rapid fire round. Okay. So one biggest mistake finance students make?
They do not upskill themselves.
One skill every finance professional must develop?
Communication skill.
One reason students should think globally?
Global competition is ever evolving and ever rising. So they have to ensure that they are thinking at a global level.
One quality companies today value the most?
Leadership skill.
One advice for young professionals?
Do not give up. Whatever you're starting, ensure that you're finishing it at the end of the day, no matter the result.
So is finance becoming more strategic or technical?
Finance is actually becoming more strategic rather than technical, because as I mentioned, companies are looking for leaders as well as storytellers.
What mindset do future CFOs need to have?
Future CFOs obviously need to have a growth mindset, because when you have that kind of a mindset, it would be easier for you to step up the ladder, as well as for you to grow the company where you're working at.
So for our final question, what message would you like to give students and professionals looking for their next career move?
So, mindset is something that is really, really important for someone who is trying to make a move in their career. Because what happens is there are a lot of times that working professionals think that they want to switch an organization because they've become stagnant, because they're not learning something, but they don't have the push or the kind of mindset that they build themselves where they are like, okay, this is the right time for me to make that move. They need to be very courageous at the end of the day.
Right.
Because it's obviously not an easy decision when
Yeah.
you're switching your company. The other thing that students and professionals should look at is upskilling. Of course, upskilling is very much important in this day and age. The reason why, because you're not just competing with someone from your own city, but you're
Right.
competing at a global level.
Definitely.
So upskilling is very, very, very important in this day and age.
Right.
And when you're exploring your next career move, what happens is, I'll just give you an example. I know this working professional who had been working in the finance industry for the last 10 years. However, for the last 10 years, he was not getting a chance to get promoted.
Okay.
The reason was because he was in his own comfort zone.
Right.
He was not upskilling himself.
Right.
As soon as he completed the US CMA certification, he got the promotion.
Oh, wow.
And with the promotion, what happened is that obviously he got the necessary hike that he was looking for.
Right.
He also ensured that he is getting the right set of knowledge to equip himself for the promotion.
Okay.
When people are upskilling themselves, it is very much important for them to align it with their career and the goal that they're looking at. The skill set and the knowledge that they get out of the US CMA certification at the end of the day is not just going to prepare you for the job that you're doing today, but also for the job that you're going to end up doing in the next 5 or 10 years.
Right. It also brought about a shift in perspective and mindset, right?
Exactly.
That is what helped him get the promotion.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Makran, for sharing such valuable insights with us today. I'm sure our audience now has a much clearer understanding of what the US CMA program is and how it can truly transform a career from the classroom to the boardroom. This podcast is a new chapter for the Parmanand Group as we expand into globally recognized finance qualification through our collaboration with the IMA and the US CMA program. To all the students, professionals, entrepreneurs, and future finance leaders watching us today, this is your opportunity to move beyond traditional career paths and build a truly global future in finance and business leadership. And this is just the beginning. In our upcoming episodes, we will explore career opportunities after USCMA, salary trends in India and abroad, preparation strategies, networking opportunities, and real success stories from students. So stay connected with the Parmanand Group as we continue to help you grow professionally. Thank you for watching and listening to the Parmanand Group podcast in collaboration with IMA. If you have any questions or doubts regarding to the topics we spoke today, please drop a comment and our team will get in touch with you. We'll see you in the next episode. Until then, keep learning, keep evolving, and keep building your path towards global success.